Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you know, a couple of days ago I made a video about 5 things that I loved about living in China, and today, I mean it's the same day, I'm filming it on the same day, okay? That's why I'm wearing the same clothes. Today is also the day when I am going to film the second part of this video, which is 5 things that I hated about living in China. Obviously, wherever you live on this planet, there are gonna be things that you love about this place, and there are also gonna be things that you hate about this place. So for all of you that have a tendency to get a little bit too angry when you hear other people expressing their opinion, just go and watch my video about things I loved about China. Maybe that's gonna be easier for you. But if you're someone who is, for example, moving to China and you sort of want to know the both sides, you want to know about the good but you also want to know about the bad, this video is for you. Number 1, I freaking hate people spitting and burping. Like, why is that a thing in China, that it's like socially accepted for people to spit and burp in public spaces? And to be honest with you, it's not really young people who do it most of the time, it's older people, but still it does happen a lot and it's freaking disgusting. You know, you're just like minding your own business in a noodle shop and then there's a man sitting next to you burping. It's gross, honestly, gross. Or you're just like minding your own business, walking on the street, and then there's this woman standing there spitting. Not even spitting, it's not even about spitting, it's about the sound that they make before they spit. It's this, I'm not gonna make the sound because even though I can, okay, but it's just gross. Like, I cannot put shit like that on the internet, it's gonna stay there forever. But they make this distinguished, very loud sound that comes like from their throat before they spit, and they make it for like 5 minutes before they spit, so everyone knows on the street that they're just about to spit. They make the sound and then they spit. Honestly, I love living in China, but I'm not gonna lie and tell you that I freaking love people spitting and burping. Like, who likes that, you know? Number 2, crazy traffic and crazy taxi drivers. I thought that I'll put taxi drivers in there because I feel like they're the worst. Traffic in China is just out of control, honestly out of control, and I don't want to laugh and be like, oh, it's crazy. No, it is actually to the point where I know a lot of people unfortunately lose their life in the traffic because the traffic is so freaking bad. It's actually really dangerous. People should just get a life and learn how to drive, or I don't even know if it's like learn how to drive. I do think actually like most of the time they're pretty good drivers. They just don't give a shit, you know, they just don't care. They see someone crossing the road and they will just speed up instead of stop, to the point where it's just it gets annoying. You get used to it, you get used to, like, you know, navigating in this crazy traffic. But still, like, I don't think it should be like that. I don't think that we should like sort of think that cars are like the gods of the roads and pedestrians have no rights, because that's what it is like in China right now. It almost feels like pedestrians have no rights, and pedestrians are the weakest ones, so they're the ones who have to like stop and, you know, like run for their life because someone is like speeding. It even happens on the sidewalk, that people are like speeding on their motorbikes on the sidewalk, which is just so annoying, honestly annoying. And then like last second you have to like run and like save your life and jump to the side, and it can get so dangerous. And I feel like that's something they should really start being more strict about in China. I know that in some cities, for example downtown in Shanghai, they are being pretty strict about it. There's so much police and they're really trying to, you know, control the situation, but that's downtown. As soon as you like move from downtown, it's not like that. And I heard people saying that in other cities in China is much worse than in Shanghai, and in Shanghai it's already really bad, so I can just imagine how bad it is in other cities. Like, it's not funny, you know, not funny. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about taxi drivers. So I feel like taxi drivers are just the annoying ones in general. Not only in the traffic, they're just annoying. The annoying thing, I guess it's especially for foreigners. They probably don't do that for locals. But if there's someone who's gonna try to cheat you as a foreigner living in China, it will be taxi drivers. Yeah, I really don't like that. It's annoying. They will sometimes try to drive you around. They will try not to turn the taxi meter on. Obviously, if you're a foreigner just living somewhere in a residential areas, It doesn't happen as often as it happens for foreigners who are just tourists visiting China. If you live in the hotel, they can obviously see you are a tourist and you don't speak any Mandarin, and then the chances of you getting ripped off by a taxi driver are much higher. And I know it's not only something that happens specifically only in China. I know that taxi drivers, like even in Warsaw, Copenhagen, where I grew up, can be pretty annoying and are often the ones who are unfortunately trying to cheat people if they feel like they're not aware of where they're going. But you know, it's just annoying, it's just unnecessary. Just taxi drivers, get your shit together and stop being assholes. Number 3, the Great Firewall of China, which basically means the fact that a lot of Western / international websites or applications are blocked in China. So basically, if you just come to China and you don't have VPN, you will not be able to use Facebook, you will not be able to use Google, WhatsApp, Instagram, all the things you're basically used to using as a foreigner. And yes, I've said before that it's not such a big deal, because yes, you can just use VPN and then it's all good. You can use all these sites and all these apps. However, it is kind of annoying, and I made a whole video about it. I know it's a bigger issue and all that, but it makes your life more difficult. Even though you have VPN and you can access everything and it's like all good, but still VPN makes everything slower. The whole internet is so much slower. If you're a student, like, so both times I lived in China, I was studying there, and you obviously need to write papers, you need to do research, and if you're doing research in English or any other language, you will probably be forced to access websites where you need to use VPN, and then everything is just so slow. Or if you're, for example, a YouTuber trying to upload a video, it might take you like 6-7 hours to upload a video. Sometimes I would have to leave my computer in our living room like for the night to upload a video on YouTube because it will be so slow. Number 4, construction at any time of the day, even when it's Sunday 6 a.m. I'm not joking. There's always construction happening in China everywhere, and I guess obviously that's why this country is developing so fast and there's so much happening. But it's not funny when you live there and it's like Sunday or Saturday or any other day of the week and it's like 6 a.m. I'm not exaggerating, and you hear construction and you're just like, why? I feel like whoever lived in China will probably agree with me. China is just full of construction at not very good time of the day. Number 5, division between foreigners and locals. So this is a bigger issue. I guess you could discuss that forever. But the best way I can explain it is that even if you come to China and you are a very open-minded person and you're learning Chinese and you're really trying to make Chinese friends and you're trying to be a part of this society, it can be very difficult. And I understand why it's difficult. I understand China's history. I know that foreigners living in China is still a relatively new thing for a majority of Chinese people. And I do understand that it will maybe take a while and the situation maybe will get better. However, it can be frustrating sometimes that you're sort of like stuck in this foreign bubble. It depends on your personality, it depends what you want from this life, you know. I'm personally not like the biggest hater of the foreign bubble, because I feel like people in China describe everyone as foreigners. If you're not Chinese, obviously you are a foreigner. But it doesn't mean you come from one country, right? Like, it's not like there's a country called foreign land. Like, we all come from different places around the world, and for me that's also super interesting. And that's something I actually loved about living in China, that I would have friends from like everywhere, and I find it super interesting as well. So it's not that I mind hanging out with foreigners, I like that as well. But I do hope that in the future, when I will come back to China one day, that it will get easier to make more Chinese friends. And yeah, I just hope that the division between the foreigners and Chinese people will sort of be smaller and smaller and disappear one day. If you're watching this video and you have lived in China as well, please let me know what are your favorite things about China, or what are your most hated things about China, or if you agree with the points that I made in this video. I know I have some Chinese subscribers, so I'm actually really curious to hear your opinion. If you guys agree with me or if you disagree, please let me know. I think it's really interesting because most of the time I talk about all these things with other like fellow foreigners, but you know, it can be more challenging to talk with locals because sometimes it's just like you want to talk about it, but you don't want to offend people and you're not sure what exactly you can allow yourself to say. So yeah, it would be really interesting for me to hear your opinion. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe and I will see you soon. Bye.